Hi, and welcome to this fourth episode of our all-time favorite topic, Android development. Okay, let's get started and let's make coding great once again. So I'm super excited because I love maps and locations. And speaking of which, let's add some code to support our maps. So if you recall, in our beautiful app, we do have the latitude and the longitude for every single fort and castles. So for example, here's the latitude and longitude for the Jalali castle, and here's the latitude and longitude for the Al-Mirani castle. Okay, so that means we can show the location of each castle on the map just like this. So we would like to do something like this. Okay, so here's our mobile phone up and running. So if we click on Al Jalali Fort, for example, this one here, we get taken to the details screen. So let's click on this location, and here we are. We can even zoom in. We can see the location on the map of Al Jalali Fort. And if we click on that marker in there, we get this message, Al Jalali Fort in Muscat. Okay, let's go and check another castle. Let's, for example, click on the Bahla Fort. Okay, so let's click on this one. We get again taken to the details screen. Let's click on the map location, and once again we get a location on the map. Let's zoom in. Okay, and if we click on the marker, we get the message that says Bahla Fort in Bahla. Now there are at least two methods which you can use to support maps and locations and add them into your application. The first one is about implementing the map as a map fragment and adding that straight to your application. And the second method is to make use or to take advantage of the existing external Google Maps application. So first, to implement map fragments, let's follow these 6 steps. Step 1, add a Google Maps activity and make sure you get a Google Maps API key. Okay, so let's first of all make sure that we are connected to the internet and everything. Okay, and the second thing is that let's go to the package here and right click, new, and then go to Google and then select Google Maps activity. Okay, you can accept the defaults as they are and then click finish. Right, and now the syncing process is in progress, and hopefully now Android Studio will do the most of the work for us. Right, okay, so for Google Maps to work, you need a Google Maps API key. And there is so many ways of getting an API key. We are, as always, going to use the easiest one. So we're going to follow this link here. So let's command click on this link here. And hopefully that will take us to the Google Cloud platform. Please make sure that the account that you're logged in here matches the account in Android Studio, which is this one here. Okay, so let's create a project. Let's click continue on that. Great. Let's now create an API key. Brilliant. And here we are. This is the API key that we want. Okay, let's copy it and let's paste it in here. Done. See, that was quick and easy. Step 2, implement the code necessary to show the castle location on the map fragment. Okay, so now let's go to the Maps activity class, which has been added for us automatically by Android Studio. Here's the class, and there are two main things in here. Inside the onCreate method, we have the support map fragment class, okay, and this will act as a container of our map. As you can see, if we command click on this layout file, this will take us to the layout file, and as you can see, we have a fragment in here, and the name of this fragment is map. This is again automatically added by Android Studio itself, and that's why we have in here r.id.map. Okay, and the other main thing is that we have this callback method, which is called onMapReady. The most important thing in here is this object of the Google Map class. which is, my friends, this class is important because this is the one that will give us access to the Google Maps service. It will also enable us to add markers or lines, and it will also enable us to even add some controls like zoom in and zoom out. And we can also do things like moving the camera. The most important thing, of course, is that it will show us the location on the map. Right, so what we need to do right now is basically to replace this latitude and longitude with our latitude and longitude for our castles and forts, okay? And for that we need to go to the detail activity, and we need to also go to this layout file, and we need to add a button in here at the end. So if the user clicks on that button, they will be taken to another activity, to the maps activity, where the location of this castle is shown. Okay, so let's add that. Let's add a floating action button. Okay, so this one here, and let's have these properties. Okay, so instead of BTN for button, let's have FAB, which is a shortcut for floating action button. All right, so there are two things that we don't have in here. We don't have this method. Okay, so we need to create it in just a second, and we don't have this icon in here, which needs to be saved in a drawable folder. So how do we get this icon? Right, so we need to go to the drawable folder, right click, new, and then let's go to the vector asset, and in the clip art let's search for example location. Okay, and we can select anyone that we want. For example, let's select location on, which is I think this one here. Okay, so okay, next to that and finish, and Yahoo, we now do have this icon. Indeed, if we command click onto it, we are taken to the icon, which looks like this. Okay, so let's go back. The other thing we need to do is to create this function or this method. So what's our magical fixed key? Alt and enter. So Alt and enter, and then select this, create show on map in detail activity. We're going to do that. So now we need to take on this object and pass it on to the maps activity, and we can use intents to do that. So let's have intent equal to new intent this, and our destination is maps activity dot class. Okay, right, and here let's have intent dot put extra. Let's call this, for example, as the port object maps. Okay, and then comma port. Right, and let's make this a constant, which is command alt C. Click enter on that. That's it, we're done. Now we can send the activity, but let's have a quick if statement before that. So if intent dot result activity get package manager is not equal to null, so start activity and pass on the intent. That's it. Right, okay, so this will take us to the map activity. Let's command click on maps activity, and now in the onCreate method, somewhere in here, for example, we need to receive it, right? Okay, so let's first have our model class fort. Okay, fort equal to get intent dot get serializable, and we know it's in the detail activity dot fort object maps. Okay, brilliant. Let's correct this. Alt and enter and cast it to our model class. Okay, and I know that we're gonna need this to be a class level variable or a global variable, because we are going to reference it in here in this method. So again, let's have alt and enter, split into declaration and assignment. Let's cut this, and let's have a private in here, and then let's paste it in there. Done. And now all we need to do, my friends, is to replace -34 with fort dot get latitude, and 151 with fort dot get longitude, and we can say marker, and let's show in here the place containing this fort. So we can have fort dot get fort place. So, and that's it, done. Let's now test this. Okay, so let's run it in our favorite emulator, and let's see what happens. Okay, and here we are, right? Okay, so let's go to Al-Galali fort. Let's click on this, and here's our floating action button, and something interesting now will happen. Let's click on this. Okay, let's click on it, and Yahoo, look at this. Basically, our project won't run without Google Play services, which are not supported by your device. So the Google Play services are not supported by this emulator, which means you have two options. Either you try to install Google Play services in your emulator, which is a difficult process to say the least. Well, it's not that difficult, but anyway, it's not very straightforward. Or you could use the easiest option that I could find, which is to run it on a real device. And that's exactly what I'm going to do in here. I am going to run it on a real device. So let's do that. But please make sure first that you configure your device properly to be able to connect successfully with your Android Studio. And to do that, you must enable two options. First, you must enable the developer option on your Android device. And second, you must enable USB debugging. So let's do that on my device, for example. So let's go to settings, and then let's go to about phone, and then let's go to software information, and then let's click the build number 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you have to enter your password, then click next. Right, now it says developer mode has been enabled. Okay, let's find out where it is. There we are, developer options. So let's click on that, and then let's find USB debugging somewhere. There we are, and let's enable it. And it says allow USB debugging. Okay to that. You will need to allow this trust message. So always allow from this computer and click allow. Done. Now you should see your Android device here in the running devices, and you can hopefully run the app on your Android. So let's do that. Right, here's my app up and running. Let's click, for example, on Al-Jalali Fort. Okay, very good. Let's now click on the location button, and yahoo, I've got the marker in there and the location. So I think I can zoom in, yeah, and then if I click on the map, I get marker in Mascot, and that's exactly what we have in here in the code. See? Right, let's change something a little bit. Okay, here we are. Let's replace this phrase here which says marker in with this fort.getFort name. So with the fort name in, and it should say the place in there. For example, it should say Al-Jalali Fort in Mascot. And let's rerun the app once again, and let's see the result. Okay, here we are. Let's again select Al-Jalali Fort. Very good. Let's click on the location button, and this takes us to Al-Jalali Fort right in Mascot. So if we click on the marker, now it says Al-Jalali Fort in Mascot. Very good. Let's go back and let's select another one. For example, let's select the Bahla Fort, and again let's click on the button, and if we zoom in a little bit, we can see that the marker is being positioned far away from Mascot. Okay, so if we click on it, we get Bahla Fort in Bahla. Very good. So things seem to be working. Excellent. And finally, let's get out there and let's make coding great once again. Thank you and happy coding.
أتى عهدنا يا عمان اطمئني فأمجادنا صحوة لم تنم فعهد علينا يمينا أطعنا نموت ونفنى ويحيى العلم نموت ونفنى ويحيى العلم